Okay, so this will be the third video segment. The last one was a discussion on timing and direction and how it relates to the 9-square theory, the 9-square grid, and how you can define a lot of aspects of timing based on the grid itself. We left off at the end with polyrhythms, and this segment is going to be sort of a comprehensive glimpse into polyrhythms and how you can use them to improve your flow considerably. I want to start this one by sort of describing how my spinning has progressed over the last few years. When I look at any spinner, including myself, and I watch them in any particular spin they're doing, there's this distinction that I started noticing, especially in my own spinning, that really bothered me, which was the fact that given a particular direction, when somebody was performing, they would be in, say, split time for a while. Split time, doing meltdowns and crossers and things like that, and they'd be kind of doing their performance, and then the time would come that they would decide to go into same time, and they would basically go like that. And that really started to bother me over time, I think because it was the only way that I really knew of to change timing, aside from a stall, of course, or a pendulum. But it became very sort of glaring and obvious to me when I would be spinning and I'd sort of go into same time or back into split time just by kind of changing the speed of one of the poi. So one day I decided to sort of take a step back and look at all the ways that I could change my timing. The first thing I did was investigate stalls. So I found that, yeah, I could be in split time, I could stall, and then I'd be in same time. Or I could be in, say, split time, and I could do a pendulum or something and end up in same time. But that also ended up getting pretty old pretty quickly because I kind of still consider this to be the same as just changing timing in general. So then I decided to go back and look at the nature of just changing timing like this. And what I ultimately concluded was that it's a polyrhythm. I'm changing the speed of one of the poi so that it either converges or diverges with the other poi, and then I retain that relationship and I sort of exit the polyrhythm. And so I sort of abandoned stalls and pendulums and basic timing changes for a while, and I started looking for where polyrhythms occur elsewhere in spinning. And the best example that I could come up with, and is a major part of 9-square theory, is polyrhythmic hybrids. So a good example of a polyrhythmic hybrid would be the Mercedes. Either the triquetra version or the 4-pedal version. And after a while, I started realizing that, as I discussed in the previous segment, because it's polyrhythmic, there is a natural alignment that takes place with this grid throughout one iteration of this move. So I'd like to talk about that with you guys in this one. Basically, when it comes right down to it, the purpose of this technique is to hide your timing changes within moves so that they become less obvious and they improve your flow a lot. I'm going to try to post more videos of myself spinning. Maybe I'll do a few posts of just like, I'll just do some improv or something. But basically, it allows me to change timing and sometimes direction with pretty complete freedom and it happens sort of unbeknownst to the audience, which can be kind of fun. So, using polyrhythmic hybrids to hide timing changes, the first thing I want to do is, we'll go through butterfly and we'll go through same direction. So this would be the same direction version of the Mercedes. And basically what it consists of, if you watch the black poi, is a 4-petal anti-spin flower, and the red poi is doing an extension. So it is by definition a hybrid, and it is also polyrhythmic because, as we discussed earlier, an anti-spin flower with 4 petals is a 3-beat move, where with comparison to the 1-beat extension. As we also discussed, or I think the second segment, was the fact that a 3-to-1 polyrhythm causes convergence and divergence every other square. So we had convergence, divergence, convergence, divergence, or vice versa. We could rotate the whole thing 90 degrees and have divergence, convergence, divergence, convergence. So if you watch this move with that in mind, you'll notice that the red poi and the black poi are superimposed in the side squares and are divergent in the vertical squares. So if I stop at any given point in alignment with the grid, I can either go into same time or I can go into split time. Cool. And the interesting thing is, if we talk back again about butterflies, the points of convergence being what defines the timing of the butterfly. This would be split time converging left and right. This would be same time converging top and bottom. If we look at where the points of convergence are in this particular move, you'll notice that I'm doing a butterfly with my arms to create the move. And in this case, the points of convergence are on the left and the right, indicating that this is a split time butterfly with my arms. And again, if you look at the convergence of the poi, you'll notice that they're converging in the same location. If I change this move to be same time butterfly with my arms, you'll notice the points of convergence are at the top and the bottom with my hands and with my poi. And again, I can exit in either same time, or if I, at the left and right sides, choose to, I can exit when they're divergent and be in split time. So I think I have enough time to go over the butterfly version of this. The butterfly version is, well, we'll start with this move right here. So I'm doing sort of an anti-spin flower with both arms, and my poi are in split time opposite direction, my arms are in split time opposite direction. So it's basically the same thing as I was doing before, where I was doing this with my arms. You'll notice that the poi aren't changing timing, and the reason is because both poi are doing the same thing in this case. So what I need to do is modify the move so that the poi are hybridized again, in butterfly this time. So if I do it like this, I can accomplish the same thing as I did in same direction. So the key thing here is that if the poi are same direction and the arms are in opposite direction, there will be a timing change because it's polyrhythmic. If the poi are same direction, then the arms have to be, if the poi are opposite direction, then the arms have to be same direction, and it will still be polyrhythmic. So I can exit at any point here. I can get split time, same time, split time, like that. So in the next video we'll go over that in much greater detail.